Right, the next one is the QIPCO Champion Stakes, Sirius the Aigler, the mighty Sirius the Aigler, 8 years old. I remember when it beat So You Think?
Yeah.
I think it was 12 to 1, 14 to 1.
It's quite rare in the flat game to have such longevity.
Absolutely.
And to
just shows
an
you as
emotional bond with the horse, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why many are drawn to the jumping game more, but it's just great. A worthy favourite.
6 to 4?
Yeah, and you'd love to see him hack up. Not a betting race for me, and not a
double up with Night of Thunder?
Not a betting price for me. I don't really do double
up with Charm of Spirit.
Everything's there, and he's a favourite for a reason. Proven Group 1 form, won this race before. The ground doesn't look to be a problem at all, and you'd be disappointed if he wasn't right there near the finish.
I mean, there was some slight concerns after the run in June, and the jockey was saying changed its legs and never done that before, but subsequently run really well. Would you say the form of beating Flintshires that great? But Flintshires run well in the Arc, so it's like
yes, it has. I mean, on the horse's best form, there's no doubt this horse for me can perform up to marks of kind of about 100 and 124. The problem with it, if you just said there, the age, the horse had a lot of racing, got beat at Ascot last year. It was 2s on last time, a length and a quarter beating Fractional, then it beat Flintshire when it was 10 to favourite, 2 lengths, and even forming behind, it was going off 4 to 7, 7 to 2. Now, what Trev did it meet on that? Well, you all looked good at the time beating Trev, and then Trevor was disappointing twice. I mean, what Trev turned up that day? If it was the Trev that, of course, won the Arc, then go and pile on. 6 to 4 is a good price. But looking at the overall form, 6 to 4, I couldn't possibly be interested. I think there's better each-way angles.
No, I agree on the price angle. I mean, from a racing perspective, I think it'd be nice to watch. From a betting, I wouldn't be putting my fiver or tenner on Cirrus.
Now, there's already doubts over whether Free Eagle will run. I think, obviously, the nature this horse was 2 to 5 to beat Australia last year, currently second favourite. But for there to be doubts already, that would be a concern. And the horse is lightly raced, and to come up against an 8-year-old who's battle hardened, I just can't see it.
Again, I mean, that's when it comes down to price. If Free Eagle's 16, 20 to 1, you can forgive the fact that he's not battle-hardened and he's got to take a big step forward and he's jumping up a couple of grades. I believe he's currently in at 4 to 1 second favourite. That's a bit skinny, given that he has to go and prove it. And as you point out, he's facing horses that have been there and done it. And you'd like to think there's going to be something in there.
The form from Ireland the last time, I mean, he looked really good.
I was about to say that the form itself has got some real substance to that. I mean, it won 7 lengths that day. Very impressive. The third horse, who were absolutely thrashed. I mean, we're talking beat that 8 1/4 lengths. He's been second in the listed race. 4th horse has been second in a Group 3 race. There's no doubt the horse has probably run to mark about 126 for me on my own ratings. I mean, it had been off for a year up to that. That's a problem. But I mean, look what it last time. It was second to no over than Australia.
Yeah, it was 2 to 5 at the time to beat it.
2 to 5.
I mean, they did say it was like one of the best horses that the trainer had. I do have my concerns. I wouldn't not take 4 to 1 at all. And I think from the Rule of the World corner or camp, I think this horse is slightly underrated. I mean, we view that derby as not the greatest derby in the world. And it did win one of the weakest Arc trials and subsequently finished 9th this year, I think it was, in the Arc. But let's not forget, last year in this race, the 3 went clear, and I thought it had the worst of the run.
Yeah, we got trapped wide for quite a way around, didn't we?
So I just wonder whether can Rule of the World potentially reverse the form.
I mean, I thought the trip, given that he's 12 furlong horse, generally that's his best form, is 10 furlongs going to be a bit too sharp.
But I think
then that means he needs a strong pace.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting bit for me, because you've got Kingfisher in the race, who I think is going to be the pacemaker. And I don't think there was necessarily a strong pace last year. In fact, Farrar, who won it, had another Godolphin pacemaker in the race. The name escapes me, but that set the pace. And I think that's the interesting angle for me here, like you said, with Rule of the World, and as much needs a strong pace. And I think the Kingfisher being there could make it.
Could, but let's not forget that last year was in receipt of £5.
Yep.
Which it's not this year. For what was a half length beaten, so it's got to improve. It's got to improve on that form. I could see obviously the horse running a race. Whether I could see the horse winnings, another matter really.
Okay. There are some other ones. I mean, Petter's Moon. Let's talk about Noble Mission before we talk about Petter's. Noble Mission is the interesting one in terms of heavy ground performances, but I don't think it's good enough.
No, it's not. For me, I know you're quite...
again, no pace angle here. Noble Mission.
Yeah, but it depends what O'Brien does with the runners and the pace, and that could mess up that whole angle. If Noble Mission is able to lead and get an easy time out on front, out the front, that could be worth a few lengths come the line. If James Doyle is able to kick at the right stage and the others are scrabbling in behind.
We saw that at Brown Panther, didn't we?
Yeah. In this ground, given we know that he's been revitalised since he's switched to front running tactics, and importantly he comes here a fresh horse. He's been off the track 80 days. It looks to me like this has been the target. He'll been laid out for it. He's ran well always after a break, so I'm not concerned about his time off the track. 5-1, is that a fair price?
It's going to be overbet because of the connection with Frankel.
Yeah.
The horse, as I said earlier on, was beat by Cubanita at Newbury. Then came out half time and beat a Telescope on bad ground. Then beat Telescope again at Chester on bad ground, which Telescope doesn't like.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's the bad ground.
Yeah.
That's the leveller. But I wasn't too impressed with the fact it's got caught a couple of times recently. One in Germany. I don't think the form of that Lucky Lion
the form is, from how I was reading, it's got half a stone to find when we're talking about the lead.
But it'd be great for Lady Cecil to have a big win.
Well, I believe reading some of the quotes earlier, it's one of those trainer quotes, but I think they think he has a big race in him. And it's whether Saturday is that big race.
Now, John Manley has supplemented Pether's Moon. I would be keen to see, this is the second horse that I'm looking for in terms of headgear. I'd be quite interested if headgear goes on, because the horse to me does everything in like when it gets to the front doesn't know what to do, and I think this I can understand why they've entered Pether's Moon, because if it becomes a sprint I can see the horse running behind his odds.
For me, and from a betting perspective, in Group 1 races I want proven Group 1 winners. They're the kind of horses. Now you can grade Group 1s differently, and one Group 1's not the same from the other, but for me, Pether's Moon, it looks like a Grade 3, Group 3, Group 2 animal. Will the headgear find enough improvement? That's the question. He does look like, as you say, he does need something to help his concentration. Will that find enough improvement?
But would you be interested if it had an H first time next to it, or a V?
Yeah, I'm not. The stats on first-time headgear on any horse are pretty dire. If you backed every horse with first-time headgear, it's a quick way to the poorhouse. But it may do. I think there are enough proven Group 1 winners in this field to make me think he will struggle. But
Al-Kazim?
I mean, just going back to
you don't want to talk about Al-Kazim.
I will, mate.
Talk about the collateral form again.
Pether's Moon. See, this is interesting because we've talked about Noble Mission. I've got them rated the same, 117, and Pether's Moon to me in the latest race, blessed with Enki, unfortunately had a fatal injury this morning. Was in the race and disappointed. They met before at Goodwood, and there was question marks. Enki was coming back from his race. I think this horse will need a fast pace, because what it doesn't want to do is hit the front too soon.
No, absolutely. But I looked at the race behind when it beat Parish Hall, and the jockey was cruising. And yet when it went ahead, it sort of they come back at it. Parish Hall come back a bit at it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
he does nothing but doss in front. But again, on his form, I think he's got to beat the favourite. Would have to improve half a stone for me.
Okay. In terms of we haven't got very long now, so that just talks about some outsiders. Talk about Al-Kazim, Western him.
Al-Kazim's interesting of sorts. I mean, I was at Newbury when this horse had its comeback run, and very disappointing. And I thought, well, that's the end of Al-Kazim. But that horse has improved a few pound for every run. I've now, I'm getting it at Newbury at the start, run to a mark about 112. I've now got it back up to 122 on its last start. Ground, not sure it wants the ground it's going to get. That's the problem. But if this race was to be run on better ground, I would give it a squeak at a big price. But the ground is a big concern.
It'd be a great story as well if Al-Kazim could win this. I didn't make my shortlist because he doesn't have proven Group 1 winning form.
Right.
So that's the big question. But that's one of those things you factor into the price. And if you don't think that's a big consideration and the odds are good enough,
no, I agree. He won't. Again, he's not. he's not
okay.
For me.
Well, for the last time, we're going to hold our selections right till the end. We're going to go over to Rebecca and Tweeter Corner for the last time, see what you're saying at home, what your best bets are, and your reaction to Champions Day and the Champions Stakes.
Thank you, Pete. A lot of support still for Cyrus Zegler. I think people would really like to see him winning. Interesting to see an 8-year-old actually still in the flat racing game. That's what people are saying here on Twitter. Noble Mission, a lot of support for him as well. A lot of excitement around Frankel's brother. And of course, it would be great to see a big win for Lady Cecil. Aidan O'Brien has never had a winner in the Champions Stakes. People saying Ruler of the World could possibly do it for him this weekend, so we'll see.
Okay, right. I've already given you my best bet of the Champions Day, and I'm going to go with Rule of the World in this race. Don't ask me why, but I've just got a little feeling that if the favourite is going to get beat, I think it's Rule of the World that might do it, and I think the pace angle that was discussed, I think Rule of the World could win this race. But Matt, looking through the collateral form for that final time?
I'm not... From looking at the market, I don't want to be getting involved at the minute. We'll see what it does Saturday. But if Free Eagle takes its chance, I do think on my figures that it did run to a mark of 126, which is best.
Free Eagle,
yeah, which is best in the field.
Right. Yeah, it's not a betting race for me. I think the favourite's a worthy favourite. If I was throwing a fiver at something, it probably would be Noble Mission. Part head, part heart, part pace angle.
In terms of any other races, I mean, you look through the card, is there anything else? I've sort of sprung this upon you but with a minute to go, but is there anything else?
You said all the group races. I look through every race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the Group 2s, all sorts.
Yeah.
I mean, the 445 is just a marvellous race. I absolutely love these big field cavalry charges, the handicaps.
Yes,
for me, Levitate stands out. Back down to a good mark. John Quinn is absolutely on fire in the last 30 days. He can't stop firing winners in. Got straight course form, proven in the class, proven in big field, obviously a past Lincoln winner. He's back to his winning handicap mark, and for me he ticks everything, and he absolutely loves the mud, which you can't say about many of them in that race. So Levitating there. It was interesting for me that Richard Hughes was booked on Jack's Revenge already, I think, and Richard Hannon still has a few in the race. Ryan Moore couldn't win on Jack's Revenge at Newmarket last time out, so he's a tricky customer.
All right, so Matt, your best bet of the day?
Definitely Cuban Eater each way. Couldn't kick that out of the free, and go and get involved now.
Okay, all right,
Victoria.
That's it. Okay.
Victoria.